this event here is all about raising awareness of climate change.
We can't escape it.
We need everybody to be engaged in this.
I think it's probably the biggest threat this country's faced.
We need to act now.
I think if we don't all work together, then it's never going to work. And I think you've got people here in this country, we're relatively well off and we're comfortable. And our planet, our climate here is fairly stable, but already there's big changes happening in other parts of the world much quicker than it is in this country. So I think we all need to make an effort, because at the end of the day we all live on one planet.
We can't fight nature, but we can go with nature. And it seems to me that the Ouse Estuary Nature Reserve is going to be under a huge amount of pressure in the next few decades, with rising sea levels and global warming.
I think the big lesson we all need to learn, that it's not any one individual's responsibility, it's our responsibility, all of us. My message to the people in Seaford is, it doesn't matter where you're from or who you are, let's work together. We can all beat this.
We're trying to bring forward to the public the climate change emergency, but we're trying to be positive and do something about it, which I think is very important. We've got all ages involved, lots of different organisations, and it's great for the town, and there's a lot to look forward to.
Ouse Valley Cares stands for Climate Action, Resilient Ecosystems and Sustainability. It's a fantastic, exciting project spearheaded by the South Downs National Park Trust with a number of key partners, and it aims to bring the whole community together to tackle the effects of climate change.
There's three main themes. These are increasing green corridors throughout the project area, increasing well-being with people and communities, and also reducing carbon usage with local communities.
Around Seaford, it's single-use kind of drinks cans, and the detritus from the skate park is different to what we find on the beach. But on the beach it'll be ghost nets, fishing line, tackle, rope, and very weird and wonderful things like dolls' legs or shoes or leads from fishing lines. It all depends. And when it's heavy summer and we've got heavy use of the heavy traffic on the beach, it will always be fly-away litter from people's picnics.
We declared a climate emergency, I think about 18 months ago, and this fair is to a great extent a result of that, in that this is an opportunity for the Town Council to engage with the public of Seaford to try and help them understand what they can do on a small scale to help protect Seaford, to help mitigate the effects of climate change in Seaford, and to create a more sustainable town for everybody.
I think it's amazing to have an event where the whole community can come together and to talk about what they've learned, because I know from experience that when you care about the environment it can be difficult to know how to move forwards once you've done the things that are immediately acceptable and obvious. Well, me and a group of my friends actually set up an environmental organisation at my school, which is local to here. So that's one example of how we're quite involved as a group. And then I've also heard of a lot more young people getting involved with this kind of event. The future for everybody will depend, I think, on what happens with climate action right now, because obviously we're running out of time, and I really want people of my generation to be able to experience nature in the same way that I've been privileged.
So we're here with a whole range of other groups from the local area and talking about climate change. So we all know now that climate change is happening, and it's easy to feel despairing about it, that we can't do anything. But we can. We can do things like planting trees, which will reduce climate change, but they will also mitigate the effects of climate change. So if our town becomes hotter in the future, if we plant trees within the town, it will make it a more livable place for our grandchildren.
I'm here today because I have this vision, a long-term vision, for the lower Ouse estuary, which I think can be made a real environmental magnet for many, many people to understand how the climate and land use interact with each other. Well, the purpose of the nature reserve will be to improve the recreational opportunities for people living in Newhaven, Southampton, Denton, Bishopstone and Seaford, the lower Ouse communities. All of them use it in a bit today. This will make it possible to use it much more without having to travel.
So we've been invited along because we champion using sustainable products, plastic-free products in all our children's workshops, and also with our exhibitions we try and avoid using any plastic, single-use signage. We believe that as an arts organisation we can also be green, and we can help show people how they can use products from around the house to be crafty and arty, and we can also help educate event organisers as well about how they approach their events and reduce their plastic waste and plastic consumption at their events as well.
Make the changes now is really imperative that we do that for our children and also for our grandchildren, and I guess any changes that we can make now is just so important because it will impact their future, and it's just really vital the work that the Environmental Alliance are doing.
Get to know what you've got in the way of wildlife. It's really important to know the species, the numbers, and how things are changing.
On the Verge, which is about creating green corridors and engaging the public in planting for wildlife. Although you might think, well, it's perhaps fiddling while Rome burns, but it is about engaging people.
I think that it's been really successful. Just looking around, there's loads of people here, and I feel really happy that this many people have come, and the organisations that have come along today that wanted to share what they do, and they all really eager to come along as well. So no, it's been a real success.
This is such a unique opportunity. We've got a plot of land close to the sea, environmentally hideous place for plants to grow, and near Seaford Head School. It's going to be an educational garden for children to be informed, but also to do things. In my last life I was a teacher, and I've always known if you give kids really good practical things to do, you involve them, you infuse them, and then they get a sense of wonder.